Hi everyone, welcome to another video with I Learned Engineering. My name is Leslie. Today we're going to talk about operating systems and some of the different types of operating systems. Um, I'm sure you've heard of an operating system. You've probably heard a lot of people mention them, and you've probably know that your computer has one, but you maybe don't really know what it does or what the different types are. So the user, us, we operate, we sort of connect, communicate with the operating system. So we talk to the operating system. The operating system then talks to the hardware and the software on our laptop, on our phone, on our smart devices, all that kind of stuff. So the operating system is the go-between, if you like, between us and the actual device. The operating system controls all the different components. So if you think about your laptop, or a desktop computer, we have the monitor, we have the bit that the things are displayed on. We've got speakers, we've maybe got microphone, or a camera, we've got keyboard, we've got a trackpad or a mouse. All of those different components are controlled by the operating system. So we'll type in something on the keyboard and the operating system will take that, whatever that input is, and give it to the CPU and say, hey, Leslie's just typed some stuff in, you might want to do something with that. So the operating system allows us to open our programs, manipulate our files, look at photos, store them, all sorts of different things. So the operating system is a very important part of the computer. And there are two main types of operating systems. There are what we call GUI or GUI, you'll hear people say, based operating systems, and that stands for graphical user interface, and they're the operating systems you get on a MacBook or Windows or something like that. Everything we wanna look at, it's icons, it's little pictures. You click on the little picture of Microsoft Word and it opens up. You click on the little picture of Chrome or Firefox or whatever, and it opens up. You want to open a file, you click on the little thumbnail picture. You want to open a photo, you click on the little picture. So it's all icons, and that's why we call it a graphical user interface. It's all graphics. The other kind would be a command line interface, a CLI, and it's basically having to type in a line of code for everything you want to do. So that would be like Unix or some Linux-based systems. They would have those kind of operating systems. If you've ever watched a film or a TV show where they have someone, normally a hacker, who's got a black screen, the green writing, they're typing furiously, different commands are coming up, and then eventually they go, I'm in. That's what a command line interface basically looks like. Not quite as dramatic as that, but it's normally, black screen. They'll have green or white text coming up. You type in if you want to move from one folder to another. You don't just open up your file explorer and click through the way you would on a Windows machine. You have to type in that you want to move folders and which folders you want to move to. So they're a lot more difficult for people to get used to. You have to remember the commands, because if you don't have the icon for Google, you can't click on it in Google. What is the command for? So you have to remember the commands, you have to type them in exactly. If you use the wrong case or something like that, then they won't work. They're a lot harder to get used to, but they can be a bit quicker, and they don't need as much power behind them because they don't need to load all those graphics that you'll see on your Windows machine or your MacBook or something like that. So they've got their pros and cons. And operating systems will fall into different categories, if you like, and you're probably wondering why I have these little pictures on the screen that you've been looking at, thinking, why is there a wash machine there? What's that got to do with operating systems? So we have an operating system for our laptop, our computer, or servers if we're looking at those. So they're the operating system that could be the like of the Windows, Windows 11, or it could be an iOS operating system for a MacBook. It could be the Unix or the Linux that I've talked about, and they're the ones you're more used to thinking of as an operating system. So they're the kind of desktop operating systems, if you like. We also have operating systems on our phone, and you might not think of them as an operating system, but they are. So that would be our Android, um, some Windows phones, your BlackBerry, the iPhone. They all have their own operating system. Phones don't generally have the command line. They're all a GUI operating system, and everything's very icon based. You click, you press with your finger, and the icon comes up. It's all very, very icon based. And with the phone, we've obviously less space to store. If you look at the memory that you have on your phone, on your laptop, you maybe have 8 or 16 gig of memory for the CPU to operate with. On your phone, you maybe have 2 or 4. They're a lot smaller. So the operating system is like a pared back kind of version. It doesn't have as much space to do things. It doesn't have the same kind of power behind it that your laptop would. So it can do less, and it can sometimes be a bit slower then. And when I say it does less, I don't mean that your phone can't do all the same things. Obviously, it can, edit photos and send emails and all of that, but it can't do as much at the same time that your laptop would be able to. And then we also have something called embedded operating systems, and they are the systems you'll have on your smart washing machine or your smart fridge or your smart device. And they are operating systems that they don't really have a graphical interface at all. They don't have a lot of space or power. If you think of your washing machine, it's only got space for a tiny amount of code on it, or a smart fridge, or your smartwatch. If you think of your smartwatch, um, it's small, right? It doesn't have all the space for all the storage and the memory and all that kind of stuff that your laptop or phone does. So these operating systems, they don't have the graphics, and they are there to do one thing and one thing only. So where the operating system on our laptop or phone allows us to do lots of different things, the system on our washing machine or fridge or something like that allows us to do one thing. Wash our clothes or keep our things cool and let you know when you've run out of milk or whatever. They're normally a one task kind of operating system. They're used a lot in industry for different things. So not just on your smart washing machines, but if you think of a factory that would make cars or something, and they have all the different, nowadays it's all the different robots that would do different things. So each one will have its own embedded system, operating system in there to say, okay, you're lifting the doors from here to here. You're spraying the outside of the car with this color at this speed. Things like that. So they're used a lot more in industry than they would be outside of that, but they're starting to appear in our homes as well. So that's the different types of operating systems. That's a whistle stop tour of what an operating system is and the different types. Hopefully you've learned something from today, and you've learned a bit more about operating systems than you ever thought there would be. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.